if the bike you thought was gone forever didn't just come back, but returned with a purpose so clear, so raw that it challenges everything you think you know about modern motorcycles? What if in a world filled with screens, riding modes, and artificial intelligence, one machine decided to strip it all back and remind you what riding is actually supposed to feel like? The 2026 Honda XL350R doesn't arrive like a typical release. It doesn't try to dominate headlines or overwhelm you with numbers. The kind of moment that quietly reshapes an entire category without asking for permission. And today isn't just another bike reveal, it's a moment. Because something has changed. And once you feel it, there's no going back. Welcome back to Acer Rider. Instead, it pulls you in slowly, almost mysteriously, like it knows exactly what it is and doesn't need to prove anything. And that confidence, you feel it immediately. At first glance, it hits you with a wave of nostalgia. But the longer you look, the more you realize this isn't just a throwback. This is something far more calculated. The stance is unmistakably dual sport. Tall, balanced, ready for anything. But there's a refinement here that feels intentional. The lines are cleaner, tighter, more focused. The tank flows naturally into the seat. The side panels feel minimal but purposeful. And everything about the bike seems designed to eliminate distraction. It's not trying to look aggressive. It simply is. The kind of presence that doesn't need noise to be noticed. And then you step closer, and that's when the details begin to reveal themselves. The frame feels lighter but stronger. The finish has a premium edge without losing that rugged personality. The ergonomics look inviting, almost like the bike is built around the rider, rather than the other way around. Every angle feels deliberate. Every curve has a function, and nothing feels unnecessary. It's rare to see a design that feels this honest in today's market. But design is only the beginning, because the real story starts the moment this machine comes to life. The 350cc engine isn't just an upgrade. It's a redefinition of what this category should feel like. There's a depth to its character that goes beyond simple performance numbers when you twist the throttle. There's no hesitation, no artificial delay, just a smooth, confident surge of power that builds naturally. It's not aggressive in a way that intimidates you. It's engaging in a way that invites you to push further. You don't just ride this bike. You connect with it. Every gear shift feels mechanical, precise. Satisfying. The throttle response is predictable, but never boring, giving you full control, whether you're navigating tight trails or opening it up on a stretch of open road. And what makes it even more impressive is how it balances that power. It doesn't overwhelm beginners, but it still gives experienced riders something to appreciate. It's a rare balance that many bikes attempt, but few actually achieve. Take it off-road, and that's where things start to feel almost unreal. The suspension doesn't just absorb impacts, it communicates with you. You can feel the terrain, but it never punishes you. Instead, it translates the ground beneath you into feedback that makes you a better rider. With every mile, rocks, loose gravel, deep sand, uneven trails, the bike doesn't hesitate. It adapts. It feels alive, like it's working with you instead of against you. And then something surprising happens. When you bring it back onto the road, you expect compromise. You expect the typical dual sport trade-off, where comfort fades and stability becomes questionable. But that doesn't happen here. The XL350R holds its line with confidence. The ride feels planted, and there's a smoothness that makes longer journeys feel completely natural. It's not trying to be a touring bike, but it refuses to feel uncomfortable, and that's where you start to understand the deeper philosophy behind this machine. The riding position plays a huge role in that experience. It's upright, relaxed, and incredibly intuitive. You don't have to adjust to the bike adjusts to you, whether you're standing on the pegs or cruising on the road. Everything feels exactly where it should be. The handlebars, the seat height, the foot peg placement, it all comes together in a way that makes you forget about the bike itself and focus entirely on the ride. Now let's talk about technology, because this is where most modern bikes either impress or disappoint. The 2026 Honda XL350R takes a completely different approach. Instead of overwhelming you with features, it gives you exactly what you need and nothing more. A clean, modern digital display that's easy to read in all conditions. Improved braking performance that adds confidence without interference. And efficiency that makes every ride feel practical, as well as exciting. There are no unnecessary riding modes to scroll through. No complicated menus to distract you. And no artificial layers between you and the machine. Everything feels direct, intentional, and real. And in today's world, that kind of simplicity feels almost revolutionary. But what really sets this bike apart isn't something you can measure or list in specifications. It's the feeling it gives you, that sense of freedom, of control, of connection. The kind of feeling that reminds you why you started riding in the first place. It doesn't try to replace your instincts with technology. It enhances them, it trusts you as a rider. And in return, you start to trust it. And this is where the story takes a deeper turn. Because the more time you spend thinking about this bike, the more you begin to realize that it's not just about performance or design, it's about direction. It's about where the industry is heading, and whether riders are truly happy with that direction. For years, motorcycles have been evolving toward complexity, more electronics, more systems, more layers between the rider and the machine. And while that progress has brought undeniable benefits, it has also taken something away, something that bikes like the original XL series once represented. Simplicity, honesty, and a direct connection between human and machine. The 2026 XL350R feels like a response to that shift. Not a rejection of progress, but a rebalancing of priorities. It's Honda quietly asking a question without saying a word. Do riders still want this? Did they still value simplicity? Or has the world moved on, and the answer, at least so far, is more powerful than anyone expected? Because the early reactions to this bike haven't just been positive. They've been emotional. Riders aren't just talking about specs or performance. They're talking about how the bike makes them feel. And that kind of reaction is rare. It suggests that something deeper is happening. Something that goes beyond a single model release. There are already whispers, quiet but persistent, that this could be the beginning of a much larger movement. That Honda might be preparing to bring back more than just one bike. That the XL name could return as a full lineup, each model built around this same philosophy of simplicity, balance, and real-world performance. Imagine that for a moment, a new generation of bikes that don't try to replace the riding experience, but restore it, machines that feel modern without losing their soul. Bikes that remind you why you fell in love with riding in the first place. And if that future becomes reality, then the 2026 Honda XL350R won't just be remembered as a great bike. It will be remembered as the moment everything changed. But here's the part that most people don't realize, and it's the detail that makes this entire story even more interesting. The XL350R isn't being positioned as a flagship. It's not being marketed as a revolutionary product. And it's not being pushed as a technological breakthrough. It's being introduced quietly, almost cautiously, as if Honda is waiting to see how the world reacts. And that changes everything, because it means this bike isn't just a product. It's a test, a real-world experiment to measure what riders truly want. And depending on that response, the future of motorcycles could shift in a completely different direction. So now, the question becomes something much bigger than just this one machine. It's no longer about whether the 2026 Honda XL350R is fast enough, powerful enough, or advanced enough. It's about whether it represents something that riders have been missing without even realizing it. And that's where you come in, because at the end of the day, the success of this bike won't be decided by marketing campaigns or spec sheets. It will be decided by riders, by people who understand what it means to feel connected to a machine, by people who know that sometimes less really is more. So tell me this. If you had the chance to ride something that brings back the raw, unfiltered essence of motorcycling, would you take it, or do you think the world has already gone too far into complexity to ever turn back? Because one thing is certain, the 2026 Honda XL, it's waiting for your answer. 350R isn't just asking that question.